Here we have a new 2024 Nissan Kicks. This one comes in the SR trim level, two-tone orange with a black roof, and then we have charcoal cloth interior. For the powertrain, we get a 1.6 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine, and that's mated to the Xtronic CVT. So not a lot of big changes as opposed to the 23 model year, but I love this front fascia here, getting the LED headlamps and the LED daytime running lights, along with those fog lamps there. Just a nice front end look, and I love the orange here. It's beautiful. Now as we come around the wheels here, these are actually pretty nice 17-inch gloss black aluminum, or alloy, excuse me. And I like how it kind of goes with the black roof and then the black trim accents throughout. Black mirrors. We get passive keyless entry on the front. And then over here, one-touch automatic up and down windows for the front, regular power windows for the back, power door lock controls, rear window lock, power mirror controls. And then latch for the fuel, latch for the hood. We get a manual tilt, telescoping steering wheel. And there's our driver's seat. So this, we can either pump the seat up or down, mess with the seat back there, or pull the seat bottom forward and back there. Love the two-tone again on the interior to match the outside, having the black cloth and then the orange trim throughout. But I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. Before we check out the rear leg room, big shout out to John Roberts Nissan here in Manchester, Tennessee, for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description, and they have pretty good pricing here. But if you're interested in finding a vehicle closer to home, make sure you fill out the form at the link below, and I can make sure that the dealers in your area give you the best price. But fuel economy's here. $26,690 is the sticker price. Well, let's go ahead and check out the space behind here. So pretty good leg room back here. I'm 6'3" with longer legs again, and this is a smaller car, so I don't expect to just have full-on fantastic leg room, but still not bad for the segment. Seat back pockets on this side. You get 2 USB-A charge ports there. View of the front from back here. I mean, not too much going on here. And I guess I'm locked in here with the child lock. Helps to have longer arms sometimes. So for that child lock, lock it by pushing it that way, unlock it that way. Fuel caps there. And to the back end here, nice look. And I love these because they're relatively inexpensive, and you just get something that's a point A to point B car that has a bit of tech in it. You do get the intelligent cruise control, several other options there. So it's not like it's a bare bones model. But pretty good storage here. And then we have the spare underneath there with the jack. Top tethers are behind the seat if you want to strap your car seat in there. And then if you want to fold the rear seat flat, pull up here. Pretty easy to do. And then you can actually put your seatbelt here to get it out of the way to pull the seat back up. And then snaps right back into place. And then manual front passenger seat. You can't pump the seat up or down, but the seat back can be controlled there. Seat bottom can be controlled there. Glove compartment there. And as we come back around to the front, quick look at the parts content here if you're interested. We're gonna take a quick look in the engine bay. And there's that 1.6 liter 4-cylinder. But now let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So I like the steering wheel. I feel like this is actual leather. And then the flat bottom here, the orange stitching throughout, just looks very nice. There's the horn sound there. Now to this screen, this is an 8-inch screen. Pretty easy to use, AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth audio. And then on top of that, we get wired CarPlay, wired Android Auto compatibility. So that's the home page there. We can go through the sources there. And then you can customize the menu as well. And in your settings here, you can adjust your sound, or you can just do it on the fly when you're in the audio menu here. You can just click there and adjust that at the top. And then if you want to change your presets, whatever station you're set to, just hold right here and then it'll change that for you. You can see that's the new preset there. Volume here, click that to mute or turn the audio off. There's your front camera there, which is pretty impressive. I wasn't expecting a front camera on this car. And then your backup camera's there. You get that bird's eye view there. Adjust the brightness of the screen. And then if you go into this other section, you can change your language or your units of measurement right there. Hazards are right up there. And then down here we have the single zone automatic climate control, so we can adjust temperature, adjust fan speed, and then adjust fan direction there, cut the whole system on or off. And then here we have USB-C, USB-A input, illuminated 12 volt. And then we also have an electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. Auto hold can be toggled there. And then for your shifter, just pull this button behind, reverse, neutral drive. And then you have that low gear right there. 2 bottle holders, center console cubby space. There's a view of the back seat from up here. And then your lights, vanity mirror, little light up there. Now back to the steering wheel, blinkers, high beams, flash, and then you can adjust off, auto, or on for your low beams. Fog lights can be toggled there. And then you have intermittent wipers, one time off, intermittent low, high. You can adjust that intermittent frequency right in here. And then you have a rear wiper as well, intermittent on there. And then push back for that rear wiper fluid, pull up for the front wiper fluid. Now over here, we can go through volume, up or down, track list, radio station presets, back button, and these 4 arrows. And all of that is to go through the gauge cluster on that left side there. So we can change our info, whether we want to see fuel economy, the tachometer, whatever you want right in there. And then we have the driving aids. And then we can customize the display right in there. Cruise controls right here. We do, again, get the intelligent cruise control, which is nice. We can adjust the speed there, the gap for that, and then voice recognition, Bluetooth right in there. Push button start. Key fob with remote start. And next we're gonna go ahead and take this Kicks SR out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive off in this Kicks, I put it in sport mode to accelerate there, and it is a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder. It's naturally aspirated, so I don't expect too much from it, but it got the job done merging into traffic there. I struggled a little bit, but that's not what you get these cars for. I kind of just wanted to test it out. But these are very good point A to point B cars because they're cheap to get in, they're cheap to operate, cheap to maintain. And you still get quite a bit of tech here, having the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. We do get blind spot monitors here, and that's the indicator. The intelligent cruise control here is standard on the SR trim. And I just love the two-tone orange and black. It's one of my favorite, actually I think it is my favorite color combo in the Kicks particularly. And I do feel relatively comfortable even in this smaller vehicle here. The seat bottom is actually pretty wide for my wider stature. Now it's not as nice as, let's say, an Armada seat or something like that, but it is, again, my bottom isn't hanging over the side of the seat, so that's saying something. Overall visibility is very good. The hood just kind of comes up and then slants straight down, so it's very easy to see what's right in front of the front end. And then it helps just how, you know, you have the blind spot monitors, you have a relatively big windshield to see out of, and then just a tiny blind spot on my right side there. And I also like how easy it is to just reach the screen, especially for shorter people that tend to drive these vehicles. Most people that are 7 feet tall are gonna try and avoid these if they can. And again, it's relatively spacious in here, so I wouldn't necessarily say, hey, you can't get in one of these, but taller people just tend to want bigger vehicles. But in here, I mean, my headroom, I still have several inches above my head, which is good. And the seat's actually up quite a bit. So it's not like I'm leaned back as far as I could go. But where was I? Here, everything's just right there. Push buttons right there, shifters right there, buttons are right here and all of that. I don't have to reach towards anything. And even get into the back seat, if I have, let's say, a bag I want to get something out of, it's pretty easy to just keep my eyes on the road, unzip, because I can feel everything. Me having longer arms, I can actually feel the back of the seat there. But it's still relatively spacious for this to be pretty much a subcompact SUV. Now, ride quality wise, so far, pretty solid. I like the steering feel for what it is. It's certainly not a sporty steering feel, but it feels sportier with this flat bottom leather wrap steering wheel. Certainly comfortable to steer. And it doesn't float down the road, but it's nice. Now what makes these so, I always call these the Sentra SUVs, or no, the Versa SUVs, because you have the same powertrain as the Versa. You have the 1.6 with the Xtronic CVT. This drives like a high top Versa. So I don't feel as low to the ground. I feel like I have a little bit more space here. But fuel economy is not gonna be as good. It's gonna be pretty close. And if you want the extra space, it's really not gonna matter. You're still getting 30 plus miles per gallon depending on where you're driving. But like the Versa, these are no speed demons. You have to realize that. But we're gonna try to give it a little pull getting on the interstate here. We're gonna put it in a sport mode. And no one's around. Here we go. So I'm not flooring it, but had to give it a little bit just to merge properly. But I love having the intelligent cruise control here, keeping that safe distance between myself and the vehicle in front of me. And on the interstate here, again, it's not the smoothest riding vehicle, but for what it is, it's about average. So again, for me, I don't know if I'd be as comfortable driving something like this, but I don't think it's necessarily uncomfortable for, let's say, a 2 to 3 hour road trip. Now, you start talking about 10, 11 hours, you're gonna have to get out and stretch, because the ride is, I don't wanna call it choppy, but it's not a Mercedes. You have to realize what it is. It's not even the Rogue. The Rogue rides much better. You got to pay another 7 to 10 grand for something equipped like this, but you get more space and all of that. But most people get these for driving around town. Again, point A to point B cars, or just something if you're wanting to be as cheap as possible, but you still want something relatively nice. This is the way to go in this SR trim. So I want to give another big thank you to John Roberts Nissan for letting me review it. If you're interested in this one and you're in the area, definitely check out their website. And if you're not in the area and you want something a little closer to home and you want to make sure the dealers are giving you the best price, check out that link below in the description and I can hook you up with somebody. But I mean, it's 15% made in America, which is a fun fact. Mostly Mexico, but that's why you can get this so inexpensive. And I still think it's a solid car if you're wanting something, again, kind of a compact, subcompact SUV. You get good gas mileage, pretty easy to maintain, and it just gets the job done. It's kind of like the Versa, but again, an SUV version. So for what it is, no complaints there. But this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Nissan Kicks in the SR trim level.